Your feeling of helplessness is your best friend, savage.
An interesting confession to make about Overwatch. I knew nothing about Overwatch until I was randomly on Pornhub and I happened to stumble upon some Tracer porn. So my first big introduction to this game was Tracer sucking a cock. Which is kind of funny considering I think Tracer looks more like a lesbian than anything else.
So I wanted to start off by saying, I think the development team has done a pretty great job with the cast of female heroes in Overwatch. They are diverse, interesting, and compelling.
Overwatch is still in its beta form. That is a pure assumption on his behalf. And from what I can tell, it's just Team Fortress, but with superpowers, and there's actually better gender representation in it.
From Mai to Zarya to Widowmaker, the female cast reflects a large spectrum of personalities and player fantasies.
I'd like to point out all the other female characters I've seen so far wear very skimpy outfits and very revealing, like Widowmaker essentially is showing off her cleavage. In fact, all things considered, Tracer is actually the most well-dressed female of them all, which her jacket consists of a bomber jacket and what looks like to be yoga pants.
With that being said, let's talk about Tracer. From a marketing standpoint, she's the star of the show. She's a great hero. When we look at the way she's portrayed in promotional media, lore, and art in-game, we know a few things about her.
What's there to know? It's like Team Fortress 2, but with superpowers.
She's fast. She's silly. She's kind. She's a good friend.
She's a trained killer. She shoots people. How the hell is that coming through the gameplay? Honestly, all I think of Tracer is that she's just a scout, but she can teleport.
Her body seems to be comprised of about 95% spunk.
Funny enough, I don't think she's the kind of woman who would eat spunk.
Almost all of her art reflects this. She's got cool skins. She's got fun poses.
From what I can tell, the poses are 100% optional.
She's got amazing victory animations. All of this art reinforces the great character you've built around Tracer. Then out of seemingly nowhere we have this pose.
You know what I'm going to get you next Christmas? A big wooden cross. So every time you feel unappreciated for all your sacrifices, you can climb on up and nail yourself to it.
What? What about this pose has anything to do with the character you're building in Tracer?
Does she like showing off her ass?
It's not fun, it's not silly, it has nothing to do with being a fast elite killer.
But it has everything to do with showing off that ass.
It just reduces Tracer to another bland female sex symbol.
And what, pray tell, is wrong with that?
We aren't looking at a Widowmaker pose here. This isn't a character who is in part defined by flaunting her sexuality. This pose says to the player base, oh, we've got all these cool diverse characters, but at any moment we are willing to reduce them to sex symbols to help boost our investment game.
You know what I'm going to get you next Christmas? A big wooden cross. So every time you feel unappreciated for all your sacrifices, you can climb on up and nail yourself to it.
Getting art into a AAA game isn't a small task. It has to go through an implementer, a team lead, an art director, and a creative director. This is a team effort. And I believe the team is responsible for upholding the great example Overwatch can set to the rest of the industry for creating strong female characters.
Honestly, I don't think it's going to set that much of an example. Essentially, all it is Team Fortress, but with superpowers.
I have a young daughter that every day when I wake up wants to watch the Recall trailer again.
Oh, won't somebody please think of the children?
She knows who Tracer is, and as she grows up, she can grow up alongside these characters.
You can't grow up with video game characters. Ugh.
What I'm asking is that as you continue to add to the Overwatch cast and investment elements, you double down on your commitment to create strong female characters.
Last time I checked, they're not committed to do anything. And yet again, strong female characters is a very nebulous term. It's purely subjective.
You've been doing a good job so far, but shipping with a tracer pose like this undermines so much of the good you've already done.
Do you know what the worst part is? It took one post for them to remove this pose from the game. And honestly, I think the worst part is they could have easily removed it, but if they just downplayed it. Now we all got running around shouting out this is censorship, which it blatantly fucking is. But it's the worst kind of censorship in my opinion. It's pointless censorship. This pose really doesn't affect me one way or another. But anyway, I'm done. Now I'm just purely rambling, so I'll see you all in my next video.